What's up, everybody? Welcome back to what I guess I'm going to call a long-term-ish review of these Laowa Proteus. Now, the first time they sent these to us, we only got 2 focal lengths, so we couldn't shoot a whole heck of a lot with them, but since then they've sent us the full set of 4. So we had Galen go out and shoot a little crazy NSFW style horror short film, and we've got some footage from that we're gonna show here in a little bit. So just wanted to update you now after using these in kind of a few different scenarios. They're every bit as awesome as I thought they would be. We finally got to do the back focus adjustment procedure, which was really nice once we got that all figured out. It's a very, very, very nice thing to have. And if for some reason anything happens on set, you can just take the tools and move them around and adjust what you need. So here's the deal. I'm gonna hand it over to Galen, and he's gonna talk to you a little bit about his experience shooting with these with the Komodo X on his short film. So Galen, take it away.
All right, so we went out and we shot this pretty gory short film. It was a collaboration between a friend of mine and I, and we were really stoked that Laowa decided to send out some lenses for us to test. We shot on the Komodo X, and it was an absolute blast. I could not have asked for a better combination. The lenses performed beautifully. In fact, my entire cast and crew throughout the entire shoot were just commenting on how great these looked. A lot of them were asking us where we could get them, how much they were, what the day rate on the rental was, and everyone was really excited to hear that they were priced really fairly and at such insane performance. I mean, they're basically built as well as an Orion and nearly identical in size. And I mean, to be honest, I think that they're every bit as good, and they honestly outperform their price value. So with that said, we had a lot of different situations that we shot in. We shot at night, we shot in bright ass day, and I will say that, you know, they do not flare the most, and it's something that I tried to do a couple times, and I could tell that the coatings, you know, are really holding back a lot of flaring, which is totally fine for a lot of circumstances. But I will say I did wish a couple times that I could get, you know, some streaking, but I'd much rather have controlled flaring than flaring that's out of control. So other than that, my only real con that I experienced using them was, I guess you could say, the pin cushioning isn't desirable, but I would take it over something that has barrel that's like out of control. It's so easy to fix in post, and because of that pin cushioning design, I would imagine it's part of the reason that it's sharp edge to edge in such an insanely, like, almost master anamorphic kind of way. And I think that's one of the things that I ended up really loving about these, was it felt like almost the sharpness of like a master anamorphic with some more character, much like the Orions, maybe sort of like the Hawks, I would say. The bokeh is really pleasant on these. It's very tall and stretchy and oval. It almost seems like past a 2X, but in some ways not. It just has a very unique look to it that gives it some character that I don't see in a lot of other anamorphics. My first AC Patrick thought they were fantastic. The focus was phenomenal. The focus breathing is almost non-existent. We did a couple of rack focuses from like a house to like a close-up on someone's face, like on the 80. And yeah, I mean, I'll show the clip. There's barely any that goes on, and they're so tack sharp, even at T2, which is bonkers. And if you need to adjust the back focusing, there's actually a tiny little ring and some screws that you can undo, and then you can very easily adjust the focus if it gets off, which was great because we actually had to do that before we started on set. And then during set, we noticed that one of them had gotten off just from being put on and off the lenses a bunch, and we were able to fix it right on set, and it didn't slow us down. And you know, if it wasn't for that, we may have not been able to use one of the lenses for the rest of the shoot. Our first AC Patrick had just shot a feature with the Mercuries, and suffice to say, had a little bit of a mixed experience with them. The look of them he thought was, you know, pretty nice, but had a hard time nailing focus, and found that, you know, much of the lens coverage really did not have critical focus and did not hold sharpness. In stark contrast, these lenses were incredibly sharp edge to edge, and by halfway through the shoot, I believe on our second day, he was asking me how much they retailed for. He wanted to get a set for himself. He just bought a set of sphericals about a year ago and was like, man, if I'm gonna buy a set of anamorphics, these are gonna be the ones. I mean, it's just what's not to like. I mean, he had a great time. All the shots that, you know, we got were razor sharp, and he had a very easy time pulling focus. I mean, just comparatively to the Mercuries from the footage that I've seen, it's almost night and day. It's not even a comparison. In terms of color, I would say they're pretty neutral. I didn't notice any noticeable shifting between the focal lengths at all, which is great. Other than that, they seem fairly unbiased, I guess you could say, which is a good thing. I think these lenses have a really great balance in all areas of just kind of pushing a little bit more character while also maintaining a lot of performance, which can be said even with the color. It seemed like it maybe was a touch warm, but not that warm. Like Orion's are way warmer comparatively. So that was nice. And I prefer a little bit more of a neutral look. So I was really digging the flexibility in post when it came to color. Overall, these lenses are phenomenal. If I were to buy a set of anamorphics for myself, 100% these would be the ones I'd buy without even a hint of doubt. I am so excited that these are priced at $5,000 a piece. I think that is totally fair. In fact, I think it's a bit of a steal of a deal. And the fact that they perform the way they do and operate the way they do is just insane. So Laowa, thank you so much for sending these out to us. I had a blast using these on set, and I can't wait to use them again. All right, that about wraps it up. Let's finish out this video.
Awesome, dude. It looks great. I cannot wait to see this thing cut and edited. Overall, it's been really cool to see how flexible and amazing these lenses are. One thing that I really didn't know till we got out was just how awesome this close focus capability is, and just what that means in terms of how your background is rendered. It's just wild to see how much stretchy, waterfall-y style bokeh you can get with these. And you know, in the real world, I thought these were gonna feel heavier than they were, but actually they weren't really that bad at all. The 80 is a little bit big, but I feel like most of the longer 2X anamorphics are that big, so there wasn't much of an expectation change there. All in all, super happy with these. I think the only real criticism I have of them is that I wish maybe they just flared a little bit more. Just a little bit. It's really controlled, and I think that's really nice for almost all forms of shooting. But when you do really want that crystal juicy sunset flare, I feel like you just don't get as much of it as you want when you're looking for it. But outside of that, these Proteus are absolutely insane. And not only just for the money, they're great pieces of engineering. Really cool, solidly built. And just want to thank Laowa for sending these to us to do a little bit more of a long-term, in-depth situation. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to our channel. Put out some more content for you every chance we get. So, we'll catch you later.